Welcome to A Shot of Ag. They say without farmers, you'd be hungry, cold, and, well, sober. Today's guest is going to talk about that third one. We have Justin Stang from Princeton, Illinois. How you doing, Justin?
Doing very well.
Yeah. You actually live in Tiscawah.
That is correct.
But I'm not sure everybody knows where Tiscawah is.
It's just south of Princeton, by
Yeah.
about 12 minutes.
It's the gem of the valley, they call
correct.
it.
Indeed it is.
Now, when I was in school, before we co-opted with Tiscawah, because I'm from Bradford, we didn't really like Tiscawah that much, and they have the billboard, Tiscawah, the gem of the valley. Somebody took a paint can and put an F and an L, so it was the phlegm of the valley.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Huh. Was that you?
It was not me. Not that they can prove. You grew up in Bradford, though, right?
That's correct. I did on the farm 7 miles east of town.
Okay. What were you raising when you grew up?
We were row cropping corn, soybeans. Back in that time, we had some Holstein steers.
Okay. So kind of a stereotypical Midwestern farm?
Very much so.
Yeah. Were you out there helping all the time or not so much?
So much so I got to get out of school early some days.
Oh, did you do the co-op thing?
I did.
Yeah. So that is was it FFA?
Yeah,
Okay.
that would be FFA.
You can go to school like half a day or whatever, and then you can go do a job, basically.
Yep.
Yeah, it's a great way for the parents to get some free labor.
Yeah, Grandpa wasn't complaining.
You went off to school in Florida?
I did.
That's a odd flex.
Yeah, it is. My dad moved down there. So
Okay.
That's how I got an interest in Florida.
What were you studying?
Computer science,
Okay, and not a bad thing.
not a bad thing. Wasn't
Completely-
very good at it.
Completely not what you're doing now.
No, not at all.
What, do you want to be like a game programmer or something?
I thought about getting into aeronautical engineering at
Oh,
one point.
mercy.
Yeah, my dad's a pilot, so I was trying to follow the footsteps, but it didn't work that way.
Yeah. So where'd you go after school there?
I went to Panama City for a while, and that's where I started volunteering in a brew pub in Destin, Florida. Mm-hmm. That's really what sparked my interest to become a professional brewer.
First of all, Destin, Florida, probably one of the most beautiful places on the face of the earth.
I thought it was the best kept secret.
Not anymore, apparently. Yeah. I remember driving through there like 10 years ago going, man, we should probably buy something here. And I was right.
Yeah, good for you.
So you were just volunteering, which means you were just going there to get a discount on alcohol.
A little free labor involved.
Yeah.
Maybe a free meal.
And then were you actually into like the brewing, the creating, or were you just kind of helping out?
They were mentoring me on how to become a great brewer, to develop recipes and move everything forward through the brewery.
Okay. Did you enjoy it?
I sure did, enough that I decided that was going to be my career.
Now, like when you were at this point in your life, did you question, am I just doing this because, I'm having fun at brewery and a bar and that, but do you think maybe this is something that I can make a living off of?
Yeah, and it was hard back in the day. There wasn't any kind of formal education that could be sought out easily, so it was a lot of apprenticeship work.
Like when was this?
Well, this would be about 2003 when I got started.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because now they're like a dime a dozen, right?
Breweries are, and so are accredited programs at different universities. So.
But not back then.
Not back then, not that I could find anyways.
So did that make you valuable?
Well, because the industry was just kind of getting its feet under itself, it didn't pay well.
Yeah.
And the shifts were long. Sometimes overnight shifts was all a guy could get, would get your foot in the door. So
Overnight?
It was hard work. I worked at a brewery in Atlanta, and I had to work overnight shifts for probably 9 months before I even got into day shift.
Okay, maybe I don't know how to brew beer, but I didn't think it was that. All right, we'll do it in the morning. That's how I kind of think
Well,
of
it depends on the size of the operation. Some are brewing 24 hours a day. Some just brew once a day. It just depends on what you're doing.
So we're like these brands that I would know because.
Yeah, Sweetwater, that's a pretty big brewery. New Belgium,
Okay.
yeah.
And you had a passion for this.
I did. I wanted to own my own. That was my goal. I worked everywhere I could to learn every aspect of the industry to support owning my own.
So, like, how many different places did you work?
Geez, that's a good question. I would say I worked at probably a half dozen before I finally got to open my own. When I opened my own, I started doing collaboration brews with other breweries, probably did upwards of 100 of those.
Explain those.
So that's when two brewers get together, share ideas, maybe brew one beer at their brewery, another beer, at your brewery. Mm-hmm. There's some traveling involved. There's a little bit of partying involved, and that's a good way to travel the world. I got to see a lot of great things.
Is it like a promotional thing?
It is promotional as well. Yeah, that's
It's
a
like
big
those
aspect of it.
Social media fellas, they do the collaboration.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
So-
not as popular as it was, but
I've never heard of it. I've never went to a brewery and they said, "Oh, this one's from our competitor."
yeah, we have one common competitor,
Who's?
Anheuser-Busch.
Not so much as it
yeah.
used to be.
Yeah, Bud Light. Bud Light did something there.
Man, oh man. Generally when you have marketing things like that, or a company says something, it gets everybody in uproar. It seems to blow over. Were you surprised that this one didn't?
Yes, I was surprised, and actually it's made a big impact on our barley market. Bud Light being down by approximately 40% put a lot of surplus of barley in the United States.
Really?
So that's been good for
I thought
me.
it would just go Modelo, or is that what it is? The one that raised up when Bud Light went down?
Yeah, I mean, there's always ebbs and flows, but that commitment that Bud Light had to their brand we saw it from the supply side on raw materials.
So this is beer.
This is beer. This is Homestead Lager. This is our flagship beer.
This is from your brewery now that you have in Princeton, Illinois, which is called Coal Creek.
That's correct.
Okay. What's the story behind Coal Creek?
Coal Creek actually has its start in one of my partner's pasture. Mike Greaves out in Buda is where the Coal Creek starts. So.
We have a field that creek starts called Cooper's Defeat.
Oh, I do know that one.
Yeah.
I know that well.
Maybe that could be, really? Stay off my creek. I say that probably the best way to talk about what you're doing is to do it while we are tasting libations. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're not supposed to drink on air, so this is totally just water.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
dyed water.
Yeah.
So is that what you just, is it supposed to,
No, that was filled fresh this morning. So.
oh, this is
Yeah.
like how fresh?
It's still cold,
I can already smell it. It smells good.
as it should.
Yeah, I like the bottle. So what kind of size bottle do you call this?
That's a 64-ounce growler, and we sell those in 32-ounce size as well.
So we got two glasses.
Yeah.
Can you drink out of both of them?
Yeah?
Well, is there, I don't know. I didn't want to offend
You're not going to offend me.
okay.
Good.
So, yeah, we'll pour some for you there.
Fair enough.
There you go.
Thank you.
And we'll pour some for me.
I knew that was going to happen.
Now, what's the secret on the head there? Is that good?
Yeah, that is good. Yeah, we do seek for a good foam retention. That's a quality that's found in the proteins of the barley that we use. And it looks beautiful.
It does. You've got, I don't know. Is all this do you know all this stuff? Like the amount of bubbles that need to be coming up and all that?
We do. Yeah, we have pretty sophisticated instruments that measure exactly how many volumes of CO2 are in the beer.
Are you screwing with me?
No, I'm
Oh,
not.
okay.
Yeah.
I wondered if it was just
it's
we
to,
drink it, it tastes good.
It's a unique specification per brand.
Okay, what's the correct way to drink this?
Pinkies out? No. Cheers.
I'll do whatever.
Let's just cheers.
Okay.
There we go. All right. What's verdict?
So I'll be honest, I usually don't like craft beers.
Understood.
I could drink this all day.
Well, we win today.
Looks like we all win. Well, yeah. You sure? Don't listen to them on the headset. If you want to drink, come on over. Yeah, just lock up the camera. You see how they are? It's good television right here.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not supposed to talk to him. It's called the fourth wall.
Oh, is it?
Wait, you can't. You're off camera.
I'm off camera.
Here, come on. Yeah.
Here, I'll get right in the middle.
There, yeah.
Cheers.
Okay.
It's not like
Yeah, that's good.
That is good.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I want to take
Yeah, we have a hard time
Yeah.
keeping up with that one.
Good luck finding a new job.
It took 5 years.
No, that's good. Okay. Sometimes I don't necessarily like the real hoppy stuff, right?
Right.
And that seems like when you go to a local brewery, that is all you get is the super hoppy stuff. This is fantastic.
We like to pay homage to tradition,
Yeah.
and traditional American lager is something that's a big part of our community. So why not make our own?
Is this what you call lighter beer?
I would refer to this as a lighter beer. Yes.
Okay. Now, do you make the other stuff, the heavy, the hoppy?
We do it all. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. From different regions of the world, German styles, Belgian styles.
What's the best seller?
This beer that we're having right now is our best seller.
Which again was
Yeah.
called the what?
Homestead Lager.
Yeah.
Kind of celebrates our Homestead
Festival in
Yep.
Princeton.
As
yeah.
you're familiar. Yep.
So where exactly is this in the great city of Princeton?
It's at address is 430 South Main Street. So right across from the Apollo Theater.
Oh, that's all you had to say.
Well, there you
Yeah.
go.
And that's still running, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was there Saturday night.
Do you ever work with them? Say, I don't know, if you have a good movie, we'll provide the beer.
No, that hasn't happened yet, but we are working with Sisler's Ice Cream to make an ice cream inspired beer, and also a bar in town called the Barrel Society. So
Okay.
more of that collaboration stuff.
I will not judge until I taste, but ice cream and beer generally not
Fair.
so much.
Yeah,
But if you make it work, hey,
yeah, it is a challenge.
got a gold mine.
For sure.
I wish I could taste this.
Me too.
I wish I didn't have more interviews today.
Well, they'll be fun.
What kind of building are you in?
We're in an old historic building, brick walls, kind of long, narrow. It was built in 1876, so there's some character to it. We didn't really have to do too much, just clean up the brick walls, and it's got a nice country feel to it. And the brewery's located in the rear of the building, which you can actually see through an observation deck while you're inside the tasting room.
Where's that compared to like where that old antique mall? I think there's a restaurant
It
in
would
there now.
be just to the north of it. We
Okay.
actually almost share a common wall. There are two walls, but that's where we are.
So you got to make up some stories about like the history of that building.
Oh yeah, well, it is haunted.
It is?
Well, I think sometimes beer goes missing at night.
Oh. I heard Owen Lovejoy used to go there.
Oh, that's a fact.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He used to do a lot of writing there.
Yep, absolutely.
I would, if I couldn't find out a lot of history on a building, I would totally, I would make up so much stuff, and I would wait till the Historical Society of Princeton legally made me take it down.
I guess I keep my creativity to the beer this time.
All right, so how do you make this stuff? I mean, how do you even find the ingredients to make this in Princeton?
Well, it's not that hard. There's different wholesalers that provide all the ingredients. Most of our stuff comes out of Chicago. We get some malt from Canada occasionally. Sometimes we get some German malts brought in. A lot of our hops are grown, well, as far away as New Zealand and as locally as Michigan.
How do you know? How do you know what to get?
I've just been doing it a long time, Yeah, there is quite a bit of research that goes into it between me and my two part-time brewers. We have a lot of powwows about what's up next.
So there are how many owners?
3.
Okay, and they all have farm ties?
That's correct, yeah.
So with the agriculture side of this, I mean, is that something that are you guys raising your own hops, anything like that?
We do not grow any of our raw ingredients. We do feed our barley when we're finished with it. We feed that to our livestock, our beef cattle.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
And you charge extra for it?
Well, it's ours, so it's free.
And it's just a brewery, so you don't have food there?
We do not have food right now. No,
I suppose that's a lot different animal.
Yeah,
isn't
that's not my skill set.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could cook a steak for you and me, but not for 40 people.
So how do you and two of your buddies, are you just sitting down one night going, oh, we could brew better than this will?
Well, it always starts over a beer.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much what happened.
Okay.
Yeah, a good friend of ours introduced the 3 of us together.
So saying you want to start a brewery and actually doing it 2 different things, what are some of the hurdles you guys had to face?
There is some red tape. Being a malt beverage manufacturer is highly scrutinized on the federal and the state level. So that's probably the most difficult thing to overcome. As far as equipment and things like that, there's a lot of manufacturers. Like we went to Lafayette, Indiana, is where we bought our brew house.
So did you buy the stuff new or like eBay?
Oh, we bought everything new.
Yeah.
Yeah. Took a trailer over there, loaded it up.
Is it all stainless?
It is.
Yeah, because it has to be.
It has to be. That's correct.
Not
Very
like the old
sanitary.
days, like where you did it in the old milk jug.
No, but we do have some wooden barrels in the brewery that we're aging. There's some old whiskey barrels and rum barrels and such.
That you're aging beer in?
That's correct.
Can you do the whiskey, vodka, and that?
That is a different license. We cannot do that.
That's so dumb. Why would that be different than beer?
I don't know. I'm Prohibition probably had something to do with that, I'd
It
assume.
kind of messed up everything.
Yeah.
So what are you hoping? Are you hoping people just come in, sit down, kind of have a a beer and relax? Or are you just hoping to be that kind of, I don't want to say speakeasy type of place, but just kind of a bar?
Well, we're very humble, but we like to think that everyone's going to leave there with a memory of something that's unique as far as the ag background, how we're stewards of the countryside, and also bring something to Princeton that'll hopefully increase the tourism there.
You sure it's not just a place to get away from the wives?
The wives are there.
Oh,
They help us out. My wife's the general manager there, actually, so we work together quite a bit.
congratulations,
Thank you.
Justin. No, really, you can't be really successful, in my mind, with a business if your spouse isn't behind it.
That's
because
correct.
If you're fighting on two fronts, it just doesn't work. So, yeah, that's great to hear that all the spouses are at least putting up with your shenanigans.
They are, most of the time.
Where'd you meet your wife?
I met her in Florida, actually, St. Petersburg, Florida.
So she lived in Florida, and now she's living in Princeton.
That's correct.
Yeah, how are those winters going?
I was worried about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but so far so good. It's nice. I think she enjoys seeing the seasons.
Yeah, Tiscoa is kind of a nice place.
It is.
Do you live in town or out in the country?
We do live in town, so
Okay.
we're kind of out of the wind down there.
It is. It's a town that has a creek that goes underneath houses.
That's correct. That's true.
I think it fascinates me every time I see it.
Yeah.
Yeah. You don't live in one of those,
I
you?
do not, no.
That's too bad.
I know.
I thought it'd be cool, like to fish out of your
Pretty neat.
basement and stuff.
Yeah. Get a little stressed out when you get a spring thaw.
Of course, like the waterways are federal and state, right? So somebody could technically float under your house legally.
I guess, yeah.
Yeah, the things in Tiscoa,
It's
right?
kind of scary, isn't it?
So what's the dream with this? Is it to get bigger or just get better?
Well, I think, if you're not growing, you're dying. So we are pretty close to reaching the top amount of beer that we can make in that facility. So we are exploring other ideas with that, maybe canning down the line.
Canning?
Canning beer.
Oh, like,
yeah.
okay.
Like 12, 16-ounce cans, 6-packs, 12-packs, etc.
Gotcha.
But we're taking it slow.
Yeah. Now, do you sell just in your place, or do you sell it to other bars or whatever?
Yes, we do sell to other places.
Locally, are they accepting?
Fairly local, yeah, and very accepting. As a matter of fact, it's kind of hard to keep up with that side of the business.
It's a great problem to have.
Yeah, so far.
You have some area-specific flavors. One is my favorite, rhubarb.
Yes.
Yeah. Rhubarb beer, is that
Yes.
popular?
It was very popular. We only did one batch of that, and it went over very well.
I tried my hand at making brandies, and we had blueberries, had blackberries. Okay, I did on just kind of a fluke. Did some rhubarb. I tell you what, that was the absolute best.
It is.
It's a flavor that's fantastic, but it seems like maybe a couple glasses and then you're ready to switch. It's not something you can drink all day.
That's correct.
Yeah. And then what else, like locally, flavor-wise, has been popular?
White raspberries.
Oh,
White
okay.
raspberries have been very popular.
Yeah.
Yeah. We have a farmer in town, Evan Holteen, that is an expert on white raspberries.
How does one become an expert on white raspberries?
I'm not exactly sure, but
You just say you are?
I would have to ask him.
With the brewing part, are you still working with the other breweries now?
No, I'm just with Coal Creek. Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah.
No more collaborations?
Well, besides the two I mentioned, that's
Yeah.
the only ones we have right now. So we're not necessarily collaborating with other breweries at this point because we are the only brewery in Princeton.
Yeah.
So we're just kind of working with local businesses.
How do you say it?
Sisslers.
Sisslers. They're local.
They are.
And then I've been to what is the other one?
The Barrel Society,
Yeah,
north end of town.
But they're more hard liquor, right?
Yeah, they have a really nice beer selection, but yeah, their spirit selection is second to none.
Yeah. I remember during COVID, they had the igloos out there.
Oh yeah.
That's when I went out there. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a good place. So what are you kind of hoping as far as like, if you had to dream of like people that would show up to your place, what would be in your mind?
Oh, I just like anybody that wants to have a good conversation. You know, sit down and do what we used to do, you know, back in the day before Prohibition, when there was a brewery on every corner of every town. You know, it has a role that's as important as the milkman or the mailman. You know, your publican is a great asset to your community for everyone to get together.
Your what?
A publican?
Publican?
Yeah, that would be an old term for a bartender, so to speak.
Oh,
Yeah.
is that where Republican came from?
I don't know. I'm not sure.
It kind of makes sense, really.
It could.
Now, were you guys there? Like if one of the three of you there? If I went there and I had a beer and like, I'm kind of nerding out on barley and all that, would one of you be there generally?
Well, I farm by day, so in the evenings I'm typically there. My wife's there; she's very knowledgeable, and our staff is very knowledgeable about beer, and should be able to answer questions you have.
Is it hard finding labor in Princeton?
We've been fairly fortunate, but I do fear come summertime when we get busier, it's going to be hard to find some workers.
Yeah. Do you have a rooftop? That'd be cool.
I wish. That would be sweet.
Do you have a roof?
We have one.
Then you have a rooftop.
Well, I don't know if it'd be suitable for beverage service.
Is it different in the summer and the winter as far as like being busy?
Yes. Yeah, it's very seasonal.
And summer's better?
Summer's a lot better for us. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Well, it's not that long of a drive up to Princeton from Peoria, is it? How long did it take you to get here?
It took us an hour today.
That's not bad.
It's not bad. It's a
Yeah.
pretty ride. Nice
It's
day.
a beautiful ride.
Yep.
Yeah. Did you go along the river?
We did.
Yeah. You can't get much better than that. So
Yep.
if somebody wants to come up, are you like on social media?
We are. Facebook and Instagram.
What is it on Facebook?
Coal Creek Brewery.
Okay. And do you post on there, or is that more the wife's job?
That's the wife's job.
Yeah. So if I go there, am I going to get my picture taken and be on your Facebook?
I mean, we could definitely arrange that.
No, not me personally, but like, do you know your Instagram?
Yes.
What's that?
Yeah, it's at coalcreekbrewing.com or Coal Creek Brewing Company.
Just the same.
Yeah.
You don't seem to me like a social media type of guy.
I'm not.
No.
Yeah, I wish I could answer these questions
You're
better
just
for you.
behind the scenes. All you have to do is put the address. That's it.
Yeah.
And then people can find it, and then they realize they have people like your wife that's smarter than you are.
That's
running
correct.
It.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm very fortunate.
Now, when I go there, can I buy the big bottle? Can I like just buy to go?
You better believe it.
Yeah.
It's very popular.
Can I buy like a cooler full?
You can buy as many as we have.
Well, what's the biggest package? I don't know.
Well, we sell kegs to go.
Oh, do you?
Yep.
Well, how much is in a keg?
Depends on the size. We have a small keg that's 5.2 gallons.
Pony keg?
Yep. And
Yeah.
then we have a large keg that's 15.5 gallons.
They're hard to get through in a night. The
Yeah,
pony kegs.
You're
you
going to
can-
need some friends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Well, yeah. Good Lord. We're learning a lot about you, Justin. I mean, you have to be careful though when you're serving alcohol, right? You got to
That's-
be careful if people aren't. It's all about the taste and it's all about the experience and just having fun.
Yes, indeed.
What's the second favorite?
Second favorite, that would be a beer called Captain Swift.
Oh, the bridge.
Yes.
Yeah,
the
there's a covered bridge north of Princeton.
Yep.
They got hit by a semi.
Yeah, unfortunately, not the first time either.
So is your beer broken too?
Beer's safe.
What kind of beer is it?
It is a creamsicle-inspired wheat beer. So think of Blue Moon with vanilla bean.
Oh, I think I would try that.
Yeah.
I would go. Any other like local names?
Yes, we have Backbone Stout,
Backbone Road,
Lovejoy Pilsner,
Owen Lovejoy.
and that's all we have for right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
All
But we
right.
do try to pay a little homage to the community and history.
Yeah. If you ever get a sour batch, you can call it the Shark Farmer.
Oh yeah, we can make that happen.
Justin Stang from Coal Creek Brewing Company there in Princeton. Make sure you go check them out, especially if you're in the area. Or like we said, it's a great drive. So you might as well just head along the river and have. I'm telling you, it's good beer. Are you? He's nodding. He gave the thumbs up too. It's really good beer. Give it a try. Support local. It's a lot of fun. Justin, I want to thank you for
Thank
making
you.
the drive down here. I want to thank you for making the local area a better place.
Thank you very
because
much.
to have local stuff, local people, I mean, it's a lot better than having, I don't know, what's like a Walmart of breweries?
Jeez, you really put me on
There
the
aren't
spot.
there aren't any, probably.
Yeah, there is. I just don't feel
It's
comfortable
better than
saying.
just having. Oh, I got you.
I can't knock my
guess it's time to
competitors.
leave that. Justin Stang, Cold Creek Brewing. Thank you very, very much. Everybody else, we'll catch you next week.